K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
Game on, where progressives fear us and rhinos tremble. Welcome to the political jungle. I'm JD.
This is Stacey. No one is safe. No one is spared.
Lock up the children. Welcome to the world of liberservative conservatarians.
Nobody on either side thought the New York primary was going to matter. So, that being said, the New York primary has turned into an episode of Seinfeld. You got a crazy old Jew doing shtick in delis, an old confused woman in hideous clothes, and a Cuban being chased by Puerto Ricans in the Bronx. Good evening, Thursday night.
When did that
April
happen?
7th, 2016, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. JD and Stacey here, Game On, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network on that K98 Talk. Welcome back to all our political geeks, freaks, and back alley sneaks. Everybody right now within the sound of my voice, you know exactly what to do. Get over to K98Talk.org, get in that chat room, say hello to Stacey, say hello to the smartest Oive Schmear from the pictures they send us, nakedest, acid-taking, drunkest radio political audience in the business. JD and Stacey, your offshore radio bank account, kids. It happened either today or yesterday. The first place that Cruz went was in the Bronx, and it was out of control.
What about Donnie's rally?
Oh, screw Donnie. Good evening, kids. Tonight we're going to be talking the Panama Papers, and no, they're not to roll weed with Hillary in the Kremlin. Delegates, delegates, delegates. Anyone who says they know is lying. Police, Klansmen, Whoa, sheltered college kids, nonsense of the world, and much, 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 much more. Remember, guys, we're not just live here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For Game On, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network here on K98 Talk. We shift gears. Sunday is still Game On, 11 in the morning, Bloody Marys and broadsheets. No, it's still Game On. I get confused, but we're curing your mainstream media hangover. We're live for Game On again Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday, drive time, 5 p.m. We got a show in a little media market called Philadelphia on at 1360 WNJC. It serves Southern Jersey, Northern Delaware, and Philadelphia for that Conservative Commandos radio network. And after the show, guys, stick around for the boss, that Riggy-Ticky-Tavi Rick Robinson. America Off the Rails every Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, taking you through the 11 o'clock hour here on that K98 Talk, part of that Spark radio network, or whatever the hell all these names are. And remember, guys, after the show, not during it, get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey, JDANDSTACEY. Find a catalog of everything we've been doing here with that Riggy-Ticky-Tavi Rick Robinson, the K98 Talk, and the very inimitable Rick Trader at that WNJC 1360 AM. Good evening.
Good evening. Busy week.
You didn't see that with Cruz and the First of all, I don't. Okay, let me help.
I wanted live audio from the Trump rally. I'm kind of disappointed.
Let me let me help out the Cruz campaign. Okay, I see him. I see him out there in the interviews, and Radio Española come up, and they're like, "Oh, yes, Senator El Cruzo." And then he sits there, he does his... They're all pandering asshats. It's just that Cruz is a better pandering asshat than Trump is. So, you get them up there, and they, paquero, and, they all got to show that they, I speak the Spanish here, I want that Latino vote. Illegal or illegal? Okay. So nobody on either side of the aisle thought that New York was going to matter. It was supposed to be a coronation for Hillary Clinton, and God knows what the hell happened on the Republican side. Now, nobody was prepared to campaign in New York. Hillary gets her Metro card stuck in the turnstile today, and the first stop, good God and baby Jesus, this is why people can't politic. I don't care if his father floated over here on a tire and now preaches at mega churches. It is el politico rulel numero uno. First El Stapo for a Republican candidate, should not be in the Bronx, no?
I wouldn't think so.
No, because in the Bronx is just...
Hey, where are the white women at?
A whole bunch of... And then the Cruz campaign. You didn't see it? The guy who looked like he was from the Wu-Tang Clan screaming, "Oh, yo, bro, yo, Cruz, this is an immigrant community." And and I'm sitting there going, what? This guy is, and then he goes, yo, the Bronx believes in global warming, son. And I'm like, I can't believe this.
Well, I honestly, other than yourself and our good friends Vito and Gene Bardelli, I honestly didn't know there were any other Republicans in New York City.
They're not.
Like any of the 5 boroughs.
Think about how bad the party machinery is here. Maybe we'll go into it a little more in the second segment with delegates. But, the party machinery here is, want to know something? No,
it's
we're not
broken.
Going that long. No, what's wrong is this clock is so off. I'm going, how are we 5 minutes away from going to break? The party machinery here is so dead and atrophied. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. So the Cruz campaign calls nationally. Hey, Bob, this is Joe with the Cruz campaign. Oh, yeah, wait, what do you need? You're on New York field director, right? Yeah, that's what it says here on the little Post-it note they gave me. What can I do for you? We got to set up this big momentum. Ted Cruz just won Wisconsin. It looks like we're going to be able to stop little Donnie. It's going to be a great news cycle. And what does he do? John Kasich eats pizza with a fork and then basically fillets an Italian hero a day later. I mean, the clown show of what's going on up here is insane. It's insane.
Republicans aren't used to going to New York. They don't know anything about it.
And they should teach a damn class about it. I can't.
We didn't, they didn't even really know they were allowed in the city.
No. Now you really piss me off. Now you really piss me off because they ought to teach a class about it. Okay, so I have not slept probably since last October, okay? Well, last night in the middle of the night,
I can vouch for that.
I'm up, I'm flipping around the channels, and I don't know if it was like Underworld, something about crime, right? So there was the whole episode about the Korean sex trade and how they smuggle the girls from Korea here to the U.S. and the guys they pay. The Korean hooker sex smugglers have on the other side classes of how to get through LAX and SFO through customs. But Rance Priebus, guy never saw colored man Barack Obama. He's out there selling, hey, we better be careful. We're going to give you all our information. All your information. 8 years of Obama in the White House, 2 autopsies and $9 billion, and they parachute Ted Cruz, a constitutional conservative, into the Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Republican
But Ted can
Party.
go upstate. Upstate people are very nice. They're
He
like
did
you
that.
people.
He did that because honestly, he was in the Bronx and he got a whole bunch of.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Followed by. Then the Puerto Rican guy starts chasing him, right? So he makes a wrong turn, ends up over by Jersey. And he did a day later. They're up in Syracuse, and I'm watching. And all the people in Syracuse, there's a line for them. They're going. I mean, it looked like a Bernie Sanders rally.
Totally different world
I
up there.
understand
People
that.
are nice.
Let me tell you something. The crowd was whiter than a bar of Ivory soap. It was a complete Bernie Sanders
Will you
situation.
stop?
But here's the best part. They're going down the line. I mean, and there's a line. The optics of it are fantastic. It looked like the crowd for a Trump rally. They're like, why do you support Senator Cruz? And everyone's like, he's a constitutional conservative. He's a constitutional conservative. The Constitution, damn it. And just people, and they're ready in policy. And they started in the Bronx where he gets killed. Did you see the headline of the Daily News? They're going to kill this guy. The tabloids are going to kill him the whole time he's there. So because of his New York values comment, the headline of the Daily News.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of New York values comments.
Take the FU train.
But you got to understand, I was raised for a significant part of my upbringing in upstate New York, and anybody in upstate New York knows exactly what he was talking about when he said New York values.
I understand that, but the 47 people chasing him down Tremont Avenue today like a scene out of a Fellini movie, who probably weren't legal to begin with, they think a constitution is what you do after you eat Thanksgiving dinner. This is the Bronx. This is
the Bronx and public education.
Oh my God! But then if you cross over, if you cross over the Bronx. One bridge too far, and it's all.
All right.
Okay, terrific.
Oh, okay, the crazy Panamanians.
So we got a little Empress stuff.
The crazy Panamanians. Well, this has everything. This
has everything.
This has
Intrigue.
Everything. It has a little mysterious island. It has people who should be behind the wall. It has pretty soon to be followed by hold on one second, I have to hit the audio bubble.
You forgot the good Russian music.
So, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
It's got Russians. It's got the Empress. It's got this really creepy guy named John Podesta. It's got everything.
By the way, of the 143 heavy hitters and national leaders who have been unveiled, the only one who has come out and went, that is me. That is my account. Do not touch it. It's Vladimir Putin. So
I know. So you got to give Vlad a few props.
What you guys may have been hearing about over the last several days are something that's being referred to as the Panama Papers. What are the Panama Papers? It's what you roll your joint with, baby. No. The Panama Papers, all right, if you want to get an idea of the size and the scope of what has been leaked in what's being called the Panama Papers, it is larger than the U.S. diplomatic cables released by WikiLeaks in 2010 and larger than the secret intelligence documents given to journalists by Edward Snowden in 2013. It compromises 11.5 million documents. This means nothing to me, but you techies out there, it is 2.6 terabytes of information, and it came from a law firm in Panama that has offices around the world called Mossack Fonseca. And basically, the records from this law firm that have now been disseminated were obtained by a German newspaper called, there's no way I get this right, I go to the interwebs and figure it out, because the only other way to say it sounds like a creepy porno movie. So this information, just like WikiLeaks, from this law firm, Mossack Fonseca, was released to the press. Now, basically,
it just arrived there.
Basically, what this firm does is it specializes in offshoring funds, revenue, whatever you want to say, from the taxing authorities, but specifically, they were 12 world leaders. I mean, you have business leaders, the 143 politicians. So there were 12 national leaders among the 143 politicians, their family and close associates from around the world, known to have been using offshore tax havens. This is already claimed the prime minister, I think it was it Iceland?
Iceland.
Right, who had to resign over this. It's basically a $2 billion trail of tax shelters that leads even into the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin. Now, the crazy thing about this is, and the national leaders right now are Nawaz Sharif, who is the Pakistan. Now listen to the countries who have their money stored there, and you tell me if anything good is going on. National leaders with wealth stored are Nawaz Sharif, Pakistan's prime minister, because...
Oh, Durga.
Awad Alawi, ex-interim prime minister and former vice president of Iraq, because...
Oh, Durga.
Petro Poroshenko, president of Ukraine. Ukraine having very tough year. Allah Mubarak, son of the former president and Jesus God, Hosni Mubarak's poor family. And this even reaches out and touches British Prime Minister David Cameron's house. Now, the law firm itself has offices in about 42 countries. Stacey, there were two things about this that I found absolutely fascinating before we get into how far into Hillary land this actually touches. Except for some shady American businessmen, American politicians weren't touched in this. And I said, why? Because are they any less shady? Do you want to know what saved American politicians from being caught up in this?
No, tell me.
Manuel Noriega.
Oh, really?
Think about it, because after that, I mean, for those of you who are too young to remember, you had Manuel. This guy was great. He was this fat, drunk dictator of Panama. He used to run around with like a golden machete, and yes, I kicked the ball and I killed the guy. And basically, Panama was the haven for the cartel drug money and all the shady money. But after that, a lot of it moved to the Cayman Islands for Americans. There is actually something being bandied around in here that all of this may have been a CIA operation in order to blow up the Panamanian tax shelter, in order to get people to come over to shady American tax shelters.
Well, no, but that was actually Putin's allegation, that it was a CIA operation.
Well, we have 2 minutes before we pick up on the other side. Did you want to start Hillary and her involvement on the other side and go into a little bit of this before we break?
No, I mean, the involvement with Hillary is pretty straightforward. If you don't know who John Podesta is, her campaign manager, critical part of her campaign. And as it turns out, Russia's biggest bank, which according to our own intelligence is really the state-run bank. It's positioned as a private organization, but it's not. Has as their lobbying group in Washington, D.C. So Russia's largest bank's lobbying group in Washington, D.C. is the Podesta Group.
Who was formed by who? By John and Tony Podesta. Now, who was John and Tony Podesta, J.D. and Stacey? John Podesta was the one who just left the Obama administration and the West Wing. Why? John Podesta came in to be the guy who was the expert on executive orders. He left to be what? The campaign manager and architect of the Hillary Clinton campaign. They're doing what? Dealing with the shady bank we're going to get into on the other side of this break, because when I was taking a look at this, I want to go into that a little bit more before we get into delegates. You guys will the fact that this isn't bigger than Lil Donnie, and Ted Cruz being chased by Puerto Ricans, I really don't understand. But don't worry, baby. JD and Stacey, we got you covered. Game on, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network here in that K98 Talk. You know what? I did good in school, and I did the math right. It's time for Diamond Dave to take us out.
One break coming up.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
Are you conservative in a world of liberal?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not alone. Hey, I'm Daniel Stafford, host of the Stafford Voice, and I'd like to invite you to tune in each Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern, where I'll break down the events of the week, and together we'll learn about how they affect you. So, sit back and get ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly of talk radio right here on K98 Talk.
From the Vikings of Norway to my home down south to Washington, D.C., I've been around. I've seen it all, and I've come out on top. You better beware, for all you know, the bell tolls for you. Enter the bell tower or watch your step. 8 p.m. Thursdays, K98 Talk.
Welcome back to Game On with JD and Stacey, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network here on that K98 Talk, breaking down the levees of your mind. Everybody right now knows exactly what to do. Get over to K98Talk.org, get in that chat room, say hello to Stacey, join the conversation, ask Ron to send you pictures. Remember, guys, we're not just live 9 p.m. Eastern here for Game On. We do it again Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Game On. Little different, shift gears, carrying your mainstream media hangover. Friday, 5 p.m. drive time lead into Yahoo Sports. WNJC 1360 AM, Philadelphia Big Whoop. Won't fight about it. Remember, guys, you're sticking around after the show for the boss, that Ricky Tikki Tavi, Rick Robinson, that America Off the Rails, Monday through Friday, baby, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on the Spark Radio Network on K98 Talk. And after that, Hoople's not during it. You get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey, JDANDSTACEY. Find out everything we've been doing here. As a matter of fact, for those of you who are new to the show, we can sometimes be. Here we go. One of our oldest and dearest listeners, I'm glancing off in the chat room every once in a while. He's having a hell of a couple of weeks. This doesn't even fit with the show. But JD and Stacey love our audience so much. Beacon, this is just for you.
Leave the kid alone, Cat. Well, what are we doing following this high feeder? We've been walking around for hours. Don't worry. If there's one thing Eskimos are good at, it's finding things. Eskimos are good for nothing. I paid one to give me a blowjob once. All she did was rub her nose against my penis for 45 seconds and asked me to pay it. Goddamn polar kook.
That did not have to make sense to anybody. Beaker, we love you, baby. So before we get into the delegates, I really want to get into because for his shady.
Can we just say where this comes from first? Because I think he deserves a shout out. It's John Schindler. If you don't follow him and you are on Twitter, he's at 20 Committee, and you will learn things from him that you will learn nowhere else.
Because you all know, you all know that the whole Hillary. This has been in the works a long time. And I would tell you the truth. This is one of those days where you have to get upset with yourself for I had to be surprised that I was surprised. So to Stacey's point, the point that Stacey was making at the end of the first segment is that John Podesta, who has another brother, Tony. Remember, John Podesta, the executive order guy. What happened today after he had the whole list of executive orders? Obama is about to test his executive authority again by basically making the Dreamers eligible for federal benefits. Not a coincidence that John Podesta was there, leaves, and this comes out. So now he's running the Hillary Clinton campaign. Who's his brother? His brother's name's Tony Podesta. What do they do? Well, they run a lobbyist firm. Stacey, what was the name of that? Is it Podesta and Jerkoff?
It's the Podesta. It's got their name in it. Sorry. The Podesta Group.
So for those of you who want to know how incestuous all of this is John Podesta, his shady brother Tony, plus Stephen Raidmaker and David Adams. Who's Stephen Raidmaker and David Adams, Shady and Stacey? They're the last two former assistant secretaries of state. They have taken on a bank by the name of Sierra Bank as a client. The majority stockholder in Sierra Bank is Russia's central bank.
And it holds 30% of the assets in Russia.
I want to say this again. This was not some CIA deep dog. Oh, my God, there were 57 cover. No, there were not 57 cover companies to peel back the layer. The largest shareholder out in the open of this Sierra Bank, which is a client of the Podesta Group, John Podesta, who is the campaign architect and manager for the Hillary Clinton campaign, has taken them on as a client to do public relations and tell them why they are not so bad. Now, keep in mind, John and Tony Podesta are destined for very high-level jobs if Kankles gets into office. Stacey, did you want to go into a little bit of a litany? I mean, basically, this operates as one of three things. A slush fund for Putin and his friends. And if you don't believe me, they are buying assets for $1 and selling them back unsecured for hundreds of millions to individual investors in non-commercial loans. So this is basically a slush fund for the Uber.
We call it money laundering.
Well, no, it's a slush fund. It's three things. It's a slush fund for the uber wealthy, backed by the Russian central bank. It is a complete money laundering setup, and it finances the Ukrainian
intelligence.
Counterintelligence has alleged that the FSB collaborated with Sierra Bank in the bombings of two of its. So just for those of you who went to public school, this bank conspired with the Russians to blow up two of its own branches in the Ukraine, and then say, "Oh no, look, we need Daddy Putin, the crazy Ukrainians, blow up bank."
Yeah. And I think John's point in writing this article is no one else is writing about it in terms of the very and I mean Podesta wasn't just in the Obama administration and chief of staff on her campain. He was also chief of staff for her husband, Bill Clinton. These are long, deep,
Wait, before you go on, for those of you who are new to politics or on the younger side, John Podesta is Bill Clinton's equivalent of Uma Abedin for Hillary.
Or the horrible woman, I just lost her name, Valerie Jarrett for Obama.
Ugh.
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 Mm-hmm.
So why is this such a big deal?
Well, basically, if these people, presumably, if Hillary Clinton wins, it's pretty much a given, they're going to end up in high-placed positions within the Clinton administration. That's a huge conflict of interest. If you stop and think about it. You know, I mean, John's entire point in writing this article is, you know, somebody needs to be asking Hillary Clinton to explain this piece of the Panama Papers to the public. It's another way. You know, we're hearing about some influence peddling through the Clinton Foundation that the FBI was poking into, you know, and here's some more potential real risks for additional influence peddling.
Hold on a second. Whitewater, the Rose Law Firm, the cattle futures, the Clinton Foundation, the unsecured server, the selling of fundraisers in the White House when Bill was president, the investigation into not only the servers, but is there pay for play with the Clintons?
I did not have sexual relations with that fat pig, Monica Lewinsky. Yes, I did. She blew me. I had to say this in court, so now I'm screwed.
And I lost my law license. I am sorry. There is a reason they say with the Clintons, where are the bodies buried? What is she going to do? You know, at this point, it's one of those things, you know, she might honestly... She might be the left's Donald Trump, because
who hit the Russian reset button again?
He defies political gravity and the law of political physics, and so does she. There is so much with this disgraziad that it's. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it's a coincidence. I know. All you Clintonistas out there, oh no, the vast right wing conspiracy. And all of that stuff, every damn thing either one of them have touched that has a public record to it their entire life has a stink, and it's shady, and I'm sorry, I've had enough of it. However, Stacey is now going to explain why these are Republican delegates.
You see, that's a professional. You didn't even see what I just did you, honey? I'm over here now. I was over there. Now I'm over here. That's a professional. You know, another guy comes up here, he gets all drops the mic, trips over, not me. I'm over there, and now I came over here, but then I backed up, now I'm over here. You see what I'm saying?
And to answer Sandy's question, the reason that Uncle Speedo, and you want to know what? I need a little.
Boom, boom, boom.
The reason that he's doing Yiddish shtick in delis, income inequality, but the equality of this sandwich is fantastic. You know, he doesn't want to become one of the other bodies, Sandy. That's why. He doesn't want to become one of the other bodies. He's a nice old man who I think would be an absolute hoot to get high and drop acid with Ben and Jerry in the woods somewhere in Vermont. But I don't think he wants to end up dead like Vince Foster by a monument. Now, delegates.
Delegates, but let's start with the big news first, in my mind. Y'all remember that guy Corey Lewandowski, right? He essentially got bounced today. And he is still employed by the Trump campaign. However,
no, they've been pushing.
Paul Manafort has come in. I'm sorry?
No, they've been actually as much. I don't understand the Trump campaign is run like a meth salesman that uses his own product. You know, he goes to the fences to defend this guy, and then you're reading the same thing. You're now announcing his replacement a week or two after every story you're reading is going, Lewandowski's getting cut out of this, Lewandowski's getting cut out of that, and Stupid's still running around going, and Corey's beautiful family and his New Hampshire weed farm, and
Yeah. Well, so as it turns out, it's not just Hillary Clinton whose primary aide at this point has ties to Putin. So if you take a look at Paul Manafort, his claim to fame within the United States of These America was actually holding all of Gerald Ford's delegates hostage so that Ronald Reagan couldn't. But you got to take a look at what Trump wants him to do.
He sounds like my kind of jerk-off.
Okay, so he held all of Gerald Ford's delegates hostage so that Ronald Reagan could not take the nomination in 1976. After that, he's not a big inside the beltway sort of guy. His firms have advised in no particular order a business group tied to Ferdinand Marcos. Remember Melda, the lady with the shoes?
She had all the truths.
The dictator of the Philippines, the ousted Ukrainian president and ally of Vladimir Putin, and Lyndon Pindling, the former Bahamian prime minister who was accused of ties to drug traffickers. So this is who Manafort has been working for since he held all of Gerald Ford's delegates hostage.
And Trumpkins, listen up, Trumpkins. Hand off Schmeckel, ear on radio. Hand off Schmeckel, ear on radio. So for those, bring back America, make America great again. Vladimir Putin's head is buried up the ass of your campaign like a tick, just like Cankles.
Yep.
Because Putin wants to be president of the United States, and Trump doesn't. All right, we have.
Well, and basically, what's going on is Trump, over the last several weeks, somebody's finally tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Little Donnie, you don't get this delegate thing at all," and that is becoming much more evident as the process moves along. For example, Colorado did not hold a primary. They're never going to have the people in Colorado vote for who the GOP nominee will be. It is a party process. Ted Cruz has already captured the 6 delegates at the state level. His operation has been working there for months. Another interesting thought, because as JD said, nobody ever thought New York would matter in a Republican race, right? Actually, New York is a closed primary. And a lot of people at this point are saying the polling, kind of interesting. It has Trump at 39, Cruz at 36. And
Cruz
what
is
they're
get wiped out in New York. I'm on the ground here. Cruz is not going to finish above Kasich in New York. He won't. He's the story's out. He's too toxic on the ground here. Like there's not enough time to explain to somebody why Ted Cruz isn't the devil. Like when you walk around here.
Well, yeah, but in the city, I would totally agree.
No, I'm talking about the island. I mean, this should be all right. If you take a look at the demographics that Trump is weakest with, it's upside down here on the island. Because here on the island, he's going to get educated, affluent people, which he has been losing almost everywhere that he goes. He'll get that here. He'll get that here because you cannot – this is what's funny about New York is, we always talk about the great unwashed and paying attention to voting and this, that, and the other thing. It's never mattered here. You have to understand the primary to everybody right now. They're like, oh, look at what politics invented, Bob. What did it invent, Joe? It invented a primary. What's a primary, Bob? I don't know, Joe. I never seen one. Because we're in New York, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, we're in uncharted territory, and now it does matter. And when you hear people, it's so funny, Stacey. New Yorkers will cut off their nose to spite their face. Yes. I know Republican New Yorkers who understand what he was saying about New York values, but for the first time in my lifetime, I am watching Clinton and Trump started spending in New York before Wisconsin was over because they both have a problem here in what is nominally their home states, and I just don't know if he's going to be able to. I don't know. I would be very surprised if he didn't have more than an anemic showing. And this goes back to how we opened the show with the absolute disaster of heading up into the Bronx. But I want, Stacey, I want to know. I think we know that we don't know. I found an extraordinarily. Did you catch this article on CNBC? With a longtime RNC Rules Committee member, Curly Holland?
No, I did not catch that. I was looking at New York and California.
Everybody, keep on your shoes so you have them and pay attention real fast. So longtime RNC Rules Committee member Curly Hurling claims that all of the 2,472 GOP delegates are unbound and can vote for whomever they want, citing various RNC rules. But the RNC is countered back by saying that's not true. RNC spokesman Lindsey Walters told CNBC they are not. Quote, delegates are bound according to the rules written by the state party. To Stacey's point, Pennsylvania doesn't have them bound. Now, what I didn't know is, do you know that within the last 4 decades, the GOP have cited Supreme Court cases as precedent in the Rules Committee at the convention to apply a rule, and in 75 and 81, they applied the same exact Supreme Court ruling. One was to bind delegates, and one was to have them unbound. And you have this camp outside the RNC that says that they're ignoring their own rules because, this is Howland speaking again, quote, the free will of the delegates goes back to President Garfield in 1880. The language of the law has essentially never been changed. There are two RNC rules that convention. So, I mean, there are arguments made on both sides of this, and I don't think anybody really knows for shizzy.
And nobody really knows for shizzy, but what you also have to understand is these GOP delegates come up through their state GOP organizations. The state GOP organizations are political animals in themselves. The state GOP organizations have to survive within the state. If your delegates just go whole hog and don't follow the rules within the state, you're going to lose face in your state. These delegates are not going to go beyond the rules that the state provides for them because it's not in their interest to do so.
But where we're in uncharted territory is they're going to be coming back to a completely blown-up party. Speaking about a blown-up party, is that where everybody's on cocaine? JD and Stacey going to pay a couple bills coming back in the last segment, taking you all to the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Something about college kids thinking a priest is a Klansman. Oh, good God, is it because of the robe? Help me. I think there might be an endorsement coming, too. JD and Stacey, game on. Part of that Conservative Commandos radio network coming right back here in that K98 show.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in...
Listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works.
President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before.
Did someone say green?
Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind?
Now, do you say good things about me on the show?
No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much.
The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation.
Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo?
I got a pen. I can veto that, you know.
I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it.
Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either.
That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Wondering why you're up early with us on a Sunday morning making a cocktail? News lately got you drinking? Hung over from the mainstream media by Sunday? We are, and we got you covered.
We sure do. We got your hangover cure for those weekly news blues. So sit back, top off your mimosa, and add some Baileys to that coffee.
Take a match to your copy of the New York Times. Light, funny, and oh yeah, news with booze.
And a lot of laughter.
Welcome to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. If it's Sunday, it's Bloody Marys and Broadsheets.
We're your cure from your weekly news hangover.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
JD and Stacey here. Game on, part of that Conservative Commandos radio network on K98 Talk. Coming back into the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Remember, guys, if you're an Obama voter, please do us a favor. Everybody else right now, get over to K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Say hello to the Obama voters who we didn't ask to just off themselves. Say hello to Stacey. Join the conversation. Remember, guys, we're not just live Tuesday, Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern here on K98 Talk. We do it again live Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Game on. Carrying your mainstream media hangover, baby. Then Friday, 5 p.m. Philadelphia. You know about it, NJC. Drive time into Yahoo Sports. You want to fight about a big whoop. Stick around for the boss at 10 o'clock. America off the rails. Then after that, guys, Spreaker.com. Hashtag JD and Stacey. JDANDSTACEY. And then we're a part of this. And we're up over here. And some nights we're over there. And we're mostly live. But here we do this. And wah.
I have great news, JD.
What's up?
As it turns out, all the heartache and stress and circus-like dumpster fire nature of this election may be a non-issue.
Why is that?
Because apparently planet number 9 is officially in 16, and if you don't know what SMOD is, that's the sweet meteor of death. Because a killer planet, according to the New York Post, is rapidly heading towards the Earth. Scientists believe that they've discovered an as of yet unnamed planet currently being referred to as planet number 9. Unfortunately, this might not be great news, since the planet's orbit might cause asteroids to come shooting down to Earth sometime in the next couple months.
Nothing with a 9 is ever good. You had planet number 9. You had Elliot Spitzer with his call girl there. He was crying number 9, baby. Oh my God! Even Cloud 9. You get up on Cloud 9, and then some jerk off comes and knocks you off it. So.
Can we talk about getting knocked off your dining room table?
No.
Okay.
We're going to talk about why I say, for those of you who went to public school. Now, for those of you who think of the KKK, you think,
hey, where are the white women at?
You think horrific. And the cops are For those of you who think priest or pastor or reverend, I'm thinking it's more... But not if you're an Indiana University student. On Monday, students at the Indiana University, yes, that would be for those of you who go to public school. Bloomington mistook a priest for a Ku Klux Klan member.
With a whip.
Taking to social media to express their fear of the alleged Klansman. Because that's right. All right.
Residential hall advisor Ethan Gill quickly wrote an email to his students warning them of the threat on campus. There's been a person reported walking around on campus in a KKK outfit holding a whip. That's actually the belt that goes around his robe. Because the person is protected under First Amendment rights, we can't do it. Careful.
But this is
don't go anywhere alone.
Okay, so you have this hoople-headed. Oh my God. So there's a priest who's in his white robes. You know how they got like the friar tuck hood that comes up at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my man, Father Huzma watches, he's just bopping across campus, and he's thinking, all right, I think, because, for those of you who aren't Catholic, it depending on the day, everybody gets the same penance and confession. Hi, I killed my last 5 wives. 3 Hail Fathers, 2 Hail Marys, so that's what he's thinking. He's walking across campus going, it's going to be a 3 Hail Father, 2 Hail Mary day, ba, 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 ba. So then Ethan Gill now fears for his life. Ethan Gill needs a university safe space. So where does Ethan Gill go? To social media. I'm going to tell you something. This is why you idiot students get killed on these campus shootings. Because when they start and you think that there's danger, you get on Twitter and Facebook and everything else. If you think that there's a Klansman with a whip that isn't headed to an S&M bondage club walking around your campus, call the cops. I can't. I'm sorry.
I just can't even imagine. Number one, the priest's vestment aren't white; they're kind of off-white. And number two, the hood doesn't cover their face, so no self-respecting Klansman would be walking around like that anyway.
Can I ask you a question?
Like the ignorance just kills me.
There are how many zillion Christians are there in this country? All right, and the robe and the garb on the Christian side of the aisle, meh. Except for your snake handlers and the really wacky idolatry and paganism. I mean, it's all kind of the same-ish. A little differently.
Not so much. The only place you really see the robes is Catholic and Episcopal.
Well, whatever. Tomato. And then this kid thinks it's the Klan. Do you see the picture for the turkey story? I love the picture for the turkey story. Oh, don't get me.
See, this is why you should live down south, because when you live down south, people kill these animals and eat them.
I really didn't realize that the picture of the story for this is an Asian broad at a baseball game in a unicorn outfit with a drunk broad next to her. Okay, anyway, so because it's New Jersey, people are stupid. There's a turkey in my house. New Jersey town seeks help for terrorizing birds. A New Jersey community is trying to... Yes, and for those of you who... Did he just say that? Yes, New Jersey, except for Southern Jersey, baby. We love you in Northern Delaware. New Jersey community is...
Wow. Wow, we just lost the entire Jersey audience.
Our call letters are NJC for cuts.
Yeah, I know. You're brilliant. You lost Iowa.
All right, they don't want to listen to me about this. Why don't you talk about the home invading?
Basically, there is some overgrowth in massive proportions of wild turkeys in a portion of New Jersey. And they are now flying through windows and landing on people's dining room tables. So far, animal control has been called out on no less than 30 turkey attacks. They've given away 20 air horns to try to get to the public so people can try to scare these things away, and are suggesting that people humanely harass the turkeys. Spray them with a hose, bang pots and pans, and use a dog on a leash to kind of chase them away.
Does anybody know what it costs to replace a residential window in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area? I'm supposed to sit here with Lawrence Welk bubbles and a hose so that Peter doesn't come and sue me, and then what if it doesn't work? What's the alternative? This 400-pound stupid, can't fly more than 4 feet in the air thing comes crashing through the window, comes in the house. It's not like some Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. No. What does it come and do? It come and it eats your cousin's baby. So, no, I'm not playing with a hose. For those of you in Jersey, you see a turkey coming in the house. And if the turkey says this,
hey, where are the white women at?
Then you know it was a jive turkey, baby.
Well, and New Jersey isn't the only one having problems with really aggressive animals, JD.
Really aggressive animals? Why? Is Bill Clinton...
Well, because we have radioactive boars in Fukushima.
Oh! I kind of feel bad for these people because they melted in a horrific nuclear power accident, but I can't. Because... I'm a sick ticket.
The boar population in Fukushima has increased by 330% in the 4 years since the disaster. So it has done something to these animals' reproductive systems because they are reproducing at unusually high rates.
And what
13,000 of them are in the exclusion zone, which stretches in a 12-mile radius from the plant. And they're now, literally attacking people.
And what does it prove? What does it prove? For all of you who ha ha, Godzilla and Mothra were real. In this particular sense, I've really got to side with the Japanese. The Japanese have been through World War I, World War II, Hiroshima, Fukushima, Godzilla, Mothra, the
Wasn't there a
the,
tsunami
the
or something
Fukushima,
too?
The whole thing, that just a bunch of little people living on this rock, and it's not bad enough that the nuclear fission created a giant dinosaur and moth that ate them, but now this.
There are already mass graves holding 600 boars each because there's a shortage of people qualified to cremate them. Where I live, we call them hillbillies. They don't cremate them; they barbecue them.
When interviewed and asked for comment, one of the boars said, well, actually, they taste like chicken, but it's kind of like Chinese food. You're hungry about 10 minutes later. The Border Patrol, those of you who shouldn't be surprised. Drones, you know the little things you buy for the kids? We did the story the other day about the robots touching your schmeckle. Now they're dropping drugs into where they want to drop drugs. I cannot keep up with it. Neither can you, kids. That's why the fastest hour in conservative radio is wrapping up until you see us again at 11 a.m. We want to thank all the stupid people running for president on both sides of the aisle that give Stacey
endless material.
So much material for the week. Right now, I'm going to ask my beautiful co-host, girl, you got them keys?
Oh, I got those keys. Get me out of here.
Let's get out of here. Tell the nice people where they can find me.
Well, this weekend you can find me in the City of Blues up in Memphis, so you will not find me on Twitter at ScottsFire, SCOTSFYRE, or at Facebook, Stacey Lennox.
And you can find me at Game On JD on the Twitters. We all know I got bad habits. I do have a bulletproof vest. You know that somebody's going to take a shot at me. However, I lived through it, kids. I'll see you Sunday morning.
I'm looking for you, you Occupy freaks with your glitter bombs. Come on. Bring on the glitter. Everything has changed. Everything has changed in the last few years. Conservatives used to take it, and we're not taking it anymore.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com. If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.